We've all heard stories of UFOs, mysterious lights darting across the sky, strange objects moving at impossible speeds, and whispers of extraterrestrial visitors. These tales have become an indelible part of our cultural landscape, sparking countless debates, films, and conspiracy theories. But where did this modern fascination with unidentified flying objects really begin? The answer traces back to a seemingly ordinary day in 1947 when a pilot named Kenneth Arnold took to the skies over Washington state. What he encountered during that flight not only ignited the world's first major flying saucer craze, but also laid the groundwork for the UFO phenomenon as we know it today. Before we dive into the origins of this phenomenon, make sure to subscribe to our channel. After landing, Arnold described to a reporter how the objects moved like saucers skipping on water, referring to their motion. However, this description was misunderstood, leading to the coining of the term flying saucer, which quickly spread through the media and became a defining term in UFO lore. Arnold's sighting is often considered the beginning of modern UFO culture. His account included several key elements that would later become typical of UFO sightings: a credible observer, a trained pilot, fast-moving lights in the sky, and seemingly intelligent maneuvers. These elements resonate with more recent UFO reports, including those documented by the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which involved military personnel reporting similarly strange aerial phenomena. Despite Arnold's credible background, his account was met with widespread skepticism and even ridicule, which caused him significant personal and professional distress. In his book, Coming of the Saucers, Arnold lamented the negative attention he received, noting the loss of time, money, and reputation. Nevertheless, his sighting triggered a wave of similar reports across the United States, a phenomenon known as a flap, characterized by a surge in UFO sightings and public agitation. Even if Arnold had kept silent about his experience, it's likely that history would have unfolded similarly. The cultural climate of the late 1940s, marked by fears of foreign invasion and rapid technological advancements, was fertile ground for such phenomena to take hold. Arnold's sighting, along with the term flying saucer, left a lasting impact on public consciousness and set the stage for future UFO flaps. UFO sightings often follow recognizable patterns, typically peaking sharply before tapering off or following a more gradual bell curve. This rise in sightings may reflect an increase in genuine observations of strange phenomena, or it could be due to what social scientists call perceptual contagion. This phenomenon occurs when people begin noticing and interpreting ordinary events as extraordinary because others have pointed them out as such. Essentially, once an idea, like the sighting of a UFO, enters the public consciousness, it can spread rapidly, influencing the way people perceive and interpret the world around them. For example, after Arnold's sighting and the subsequent media coverage, people across the country became more attuned to the idea of flying saucers. As a result, they were more likely to interpret unusual sights in the sky as UFOs, even if those sights were previously unnoticed or dismissed as something mundane. This kind of social influence can create a feedback loop, where more sightings lead to more media coverage, which in turn leads to even more sightings. In this way, perceptual contagion helps explain the sudden surge in UFO reports that often follows high-profile sightings like Arnold's. There is also a clear link between public UFO flaps and governmental responses, as documented by former NASA employee Diana Palmer-Hoyt. When public sightings increase, the government usually responds with investigation programs aimed at demystifying the events and calming public fears. The government launched its first official UFO investigation program, Project Sign, in 1948. This program aimed to assess whether UFOs posed a national security threat and to manage public perception. The government's approach was twofold: publicly dismiss and downplay UFO sightings, while privately investigating their potential significance. The context of the late 1940s, including rampant missile testing in New Mexico and the influence of Operation Paperclip, which brought German scientists to the US after World War II, further fueled the government's interest in UFOs. Project Sign, the first of several government efforts to investigate UFOs, quickly became polarized between skeptics and believers, with some even proposing the extraterrestrial hypothesis. In 1953, the CIA convened the Robertson panel in response to the increasing number of UFO reports and the international tensions of the time. The panel, whose existence remained classified for years, concluded that while UFOs did not pose a direct threat to national security, the potential for public panic was a concern. The panel recommended public education and media debunking to prevent panic and maintain control, but this approach ultimately sowed distrust between the public and the government, especially when the panel's findings were later revealed. Kenneth Arnold's 1947 sightings significantly shaped public news and influenced how the government responded to the phenomenon. The impact of his experience in the terminology, government investigations, and cultural narratives surrounding UFOs, while pop culture and media is keeping the public interest very high in alien life.